Hello, I'm Colin Harris, Technical Director of Knoware. We are a specialist business intelligence, analytics and SAS consultancy based in New Zealand. This is part of a series of videos where I give independent feedback on the recent SAS Global Forum, held in San Francisco in May 2013. The topic of this video is graphics with ODS. A lot of the other topics were covering what's new, what's coming in 9.4 with SAS and what they are doing. This particular topic, though, is covering something that has been around for a while. Yes, it has been enhanced with 9.4, but the things I'm going to talk about here have been around in SAS for the last couple of versions. It's just that not everyone's aware of that, and I think it's just worthwhile making people aware that this great capability is actually out there. First of all, ODS. What is ODS? Output Delivery System. If you haven't heard of that and you are a SAS user, you will automatically be using the Output Delivery System under the covers, but you can explicitly use ODS as well to change things, to add some capability to get things written out, output in a different way. And if you haven't explored ODS at all, I'd certainly encourage you just to go and look at some tutorials on ODS generally and what it can provide you, because it's very, very beneficial. I'm going to focus on the graphics side from ODS. ODS is also great for lots of textual reporting, and that's what I'm not touching on here. And there's a range of different things that it allows you to do. The very simple level, if you just say ODS graphics on and run your graphics procedures where you traditionally get your output, you will get a much richer set of output is actually created. Better graphs enabling you to get much nicer results. The results from these graphs, you can go out through HTML or from RTF, rich text format, where you're feeding into Word documents and things like that. PostScript, PDF, if you're wanting to create PDF for documents, again, the graphic can write into that area as well. Different component is the ODS graphics editor, which again, I find a number of people aren't aware of that. So you've generated a graph through one of the various techniques, whether it's through Enterprise Guide or whether prop Gplot or whatever. You can start up the graphics editor and change that graph, particularly if you want to change and add some text to highlight a particular point or whatever. You can do that within the graphics editor. Another component to explore is the graph designer. That allows you to go through a series of menus and design a particular graph without having to go to the code perspective. And this is different than Enterprise Guide Task. There's a different way to generate graphs. If you ever need to get more sophisticated than that, there is then the SG procedures. That is the statistical graphic procedures. They're not just for statistical graphics, that's just the name of them. You can get all sorts of great standard graphs out of there as well, but they now enable you to change a lot of options and come out with better graphs. And I show examples of a number of these in the following slides. The final one, and the highest level and most sophisticated, is GTL, or the graphics template language. What that allows you to do is define graphics at a much lower level and get very specific on what you want on your graph, rather than just the higher level, say prop Gchart, and you give a few commands and away you go and you produce your graphs. GTL, you can go to a lower level of detail and get very specific. Okay, let's have a look at a couple of examples here. There is the ability to do multiple graphs on a page, like this one here. We've got two bar charts and also a combination of bar and plot. These types of graphs, which is a lattice graph, rather than just having one graph, we've got, what have we got here, 4 by 3, so 12 different graphs, which allows you to compare different categories. Here's an example where you've annotated the graph. So the traditional SAS graph has been produced, a bar chart there, and by using some of these other capabilities, you can go and put symbols on there. You'll notice we've got the Fiat symbol and the Chrysler symbol there. And also put some text there, put some arrows, put some additional text to highlight particular parts. So that's what the graphics template language allows you to do that. Some of you may be familiar with Annotate. That is still available. Annotate is quite complex to use, but allows you to do this type of thing as well. But the graph template language is a much easier way to actually achieve this type of result. And that's it. Really a fairly short session to go through, really just making you aware that there's a whole lot of other graphics capabilities within SAS that you may have not been aware of, and encouraging you to go and find out more, go to the SAS website and find out more about those particular areas in more detail. Thank you for watching. And don't forget to have a look at some of the other videos that we have in the series feeding back information from the SAS Global Forum 2013.